Hi, welcome back to Who Says, an online course in self-empowerment and creative identity. Now, I am really excited for this episode because today we are talking to a few of my good friends from way over in New Zealand. The girls I'm featuring today are all cave guides working in adventure tourism. Now, what is it about that makes them special, you might ask? Well, adventure tourism is a very male-dominated industry. We're actually lucky enough that we're speaking to one of the first ever female cave guides in New Zealand. They'll share some anecdotes about working for the legendary Blackwater Rafting Company and let us know how it is that they hold on to their power.
Hi, my name is Tony. I am from New Zealand and I am a female working in the outdoors industry. I have worked as a high ropes course instructor in America and then also as an activity instructor and group leader in the United Kingdom, and for the last few years I have been working at the legendary Blackwater Rafting Company, so a caving company and adventure tourism company here in New Zealand. Working in this industry I have found to be extremely inspiring. I have met so many other amazing women and made some really close friends with a lot of them as well. There's a really tight-knit sense of community between the women because we all have a mutual understanding of the different sort of challenges that we face because we are working in an industry that is predominantly dominated by males, and seeing these other women achieve such amazing things has definitely inspired me a lot and shaped the direction that my future is going in now. I remember when I was working in a cafe, saving up to go to America, my first overseas experience, and a father came in with his young daughter one day and he struck up a conversation. We got talking and he asked me how long I'd been working there, what I was doing there, and I said that I was working there to save up money to go to America to be a high ropes course instructor. And he turned to his young daughter and said, "See, women can do or be anything that they want."
Hi, so I'm Rachel Stubbs and this is my lovely daughter Pippin Stubbs. I came to Waitomo many moons ago. I was 18 years old and I had a passion for the outdoors. I was doing my diploma in sport and recreation and we had a week-long experience here in Waitomo. And by day 2, I had decided that this was the most amazing place in the world and this was where I was going to spend the rest of my life. And I actually remember getting to the bottom of a huge abseil and the boss of Blackwater Rafting, John Ash, was at the bottom. And I remember saying to him, "Wow, this is where I'm going to be. This is where I want to live." So what happened then was after a week's work experience I went back home to my hometown, and once a week I would ring John Ash and I would say, John, I think you need a female guide and I think that should be me." One of that guides actually fell in the cave and broke his leg, and it was just coming into the summer season, and so John rang me up and said, "Rachel, do you want a job?" And so that's how I became the first female guide at Blackwater Rafting. There wasn't too many guides as a whole. I think there was about 8 of us. Really felt I had to step up and prove to them. I felt I had to prove that everything they could do, I could do better. I loved it. I loved being in the outdoors. I loved being surrounded by outdoor people and people having fun.
I was kind of born into the whole shebang. Every single day after school I was based at Blackwater Rafting in the guides room, surrounded by all the cave guides. When I was 15, I started working behind the front desk.
We always thought that if Pippin was going to be part of the company, that she had to learn all the places. You couldn't just start off as a guide and grab the rewards of being a guide.
I spent about 2 years on and off because I was still in high school, and then eventually I started to work in the dry cave. I've been in the dry cave for about 3 years now, in the wet cave about 1.5 to 2 years on and off, and I love Blackwater so much. It's my favourite place in the world. We now have a 50-50 staff base of women and men, which is awesome. All the girls who work at Blackwater are just so into it. We've got very girly girls and we've got outgoing,
hardcore
girls in the
Kiwi chicks.
But we don't have to worry as much about whether we can be the top dog or not anymore. Like mum, I feel like you had to really fight for your place.
There were times where on trips clients would just look straight past you and look at the male guides and just not even accept you as a guide. I remember one day I had a trip come along and he clicked his fingers. He said, put my shoes on, put my shoes on. I'm like, dude, if you can't put your shoes on, you're not coming on a trip with me. So that was hard at times and frustrating, and I had to learn to count to 10, take a breath. I remember one particular trip we had a group, a family group, and the husband, he pushed his wife off the platform first. So to
clarify, we throw people off the platform into the water.
Into the water, just to see how they react in water. And so this guy, and I was thinking, oh, he's just doing it because his wife's nervous or something. But no, he was doing it to see if she survived. So he pushed her in and then looked over the edge to see if she was going to make it. He jumped last. I just could not believe it.
Yeah. It's interesting, we still get that now. Sometimes if there's I'm working with a male co-guide, all the questions get thrown to him.
It was an interesting time in the outdoors back in the day. It was really just evolving, the outdoor industry in New Zealand, and so actually there was a lot of males. There wasn't very many females, and so it was a good thing that John realised that what I was saying was important.
Very
helping females into their wetsuits and answering tricky questions. I still had to hold people's hands back in the days, and that wasn't just females. There were guys I had to hold their hands, and that was because they were frightened.
That's a thing that happens in the cave. I've had to become very assertive, especially when it's two females running a trip and you've got a group of boys. Some points in time, we have all the lights turned off and you're paddling out of the cave, and we have a joke of whose hand is that on your thigh. One point in time I was single guiding a trip by myself, 3 Irish guys, awesome, really fun crew, but there was one point where I felt a hand on my thigh and I was like, nope, turned on the lights, and I was like, whoever that was, stay away from me.
There's been some really, really fun times. There's been some scary times. What I have learned is, to begin with, I did spend my first 5 years feeling like I had to prove myself all the time. I had to prove myself. I had to carry the big packs. I had to haul up the bags, from the heaviest bag. I had to do it all, and I couldn't moan. I just had to do it. And you know what? After a while, I got to the point where it was like, actually, I don't know whether I do need to do that. I don't, and that was just in my head. And so as I matured into the job, and the younger guides were coming through, I'd be like, oh, if you want to carry the pack,
it's yours.
You can take it, So I guess I just wised up to the fact that I didn't need to prove myself.
You don't need to worry about what these people think of you. You just need to do the cave to the best of your ability, share the experience with the people to the best of your ability. Apart from that, nothing matters. Have a passion for the job, have a passion for the place people you work in, for the people, and that's all you need.
Yeah, I think sometimes females can put just a different way of thinking, looking at things differently to how a guy would, because maybe sometimes we don't have the strength, and so we think about things differently. I did want to mention, I was the first female guide, but I was quickly followed up by a wonderful lady called Debbie. Debbie Hughes is her name.
It is.
And Debbie and I had a lot of fun at Rafting, a lot of fun. And Debbie really proved herself out there and was right into it. And once Debbie came on board, wow, things changed.
It boomed.
Yeah, the place was awesome. So Debbie, and then we had Kathy. We had an array of females followed me quite quickly, and to the point now where we're 50-50, which is 50-50.
See you later.
Bye.
Hi there, my name is Christine Erkins, and I'm an outdoor enthusiast and an outdoor professional. As a kid, I was always outside, getting dirty and trying whatever new adventure I could find. But being a female working and playing in the outdoors isn't always easy, and it comes with its own set of challenges. I remember growing up always wanting to play sports with the boys at recess. I also remember the looks I would get, and the occasional snide comment. I remember being told to be careful a lot, and thinking that the boys were expected to take risks and get dirty and even get hurt, but the girls weren't. But I also remember the smiles and the friendships that I built, because I was my happiest self when I was outside. And I remember the people who told me not to get stuck up on the small stuff, but just to follow my dreams. Throughout my life, supportive peers have pushed me, but I think it was the doubtful voices that truly pushed me to prove that anyone, no matter age, gender, race, or socioeconomic status, could do anything they set their mind to. Now, as an adult, I have worked professionally as a horseback riding instructor, a rock climbing instructor, and most recently, as an adventure cave guide. I love being able to spend my days climbing waterfalls, rafting epic rivers, and chasing adventure through the wilderness. While it hasn't always been easy, I have been blessed by having a series of wonderful coaches, mentors, bosses, family, and friends who supported not only myself, but the growing number of women pursuing hobbies and careers in the outdoors. Slowly, the tides are turning. More and more women are seen not only pursuing careers in the outdoors, but thriving in them. The journey is far from done, but if women like us continue to pursue and excel, we'll continue to pave the way for future generations to not have to think twice before leaping after their dreams. We'll always face challenges, but the important thing is not to let these prevent us from chasing our dreams, but rather allowing them to push us to reach even higher heights.
We've come to the end of this episode, and I'm so sad to see my friends go. But it is time for me to pass on a challenge to you. Today, what I would like you to do is write down a positive affirmation. Now, what I mean by this is just a sentence that encourages and empowers you. Affirmations are positive statements that can help you overcome your self-sabotaging and negative thoughts. Now, I want you to write this affirmation down beautifully, and I want you to stick it somewhere where you're going to see it every single day. Personally, I like to stick mine on the mirror because I might spend a little bit too much time staring at myself and getting ready in the mornings. Now, every time you see that affirmation, I want you to repeat it to yourself. You can also share your affirmation with the group and get some ideas from there. I'll see you next episode. Bye!